Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to do a deep dive into cloud security engineering,
Ooh, yeah, definitely a hot topic these days.
for sure. And we've got some awesome sources lined up.
Let's hear it.
First, we have a career guide from Coursera that's pretty comprehensive.
Nice. Those Coursera guides are usually pretty good.
Yeah, and then there's this really insightful article from Hack the Box. It features a former cloud security engineer, Matej Gurblinsky, and his perspective on the field.
Oh, cool. Getting right into the nitty-gritty.
Totally. And lastly, we've got a practical roadmap from a Medium article. Seems to lay things out step by step.
Sounds like a good mix.
Absolutely. A good blend of big picture, real world experience, and concrete advice. So let's get right into it. What exactly does a cloud security engineer do? Like on a day-to-day basis, what's on their plate?
Well, if we go by what Coursera says,
Yeah,
they're kind of like the guardians of an organization's cloud.
makes sense.
All their infrastructure and data, they're the ones building and testing the security procedures, assessing the risks, and recommending the right tools to keep everything locked down.
Right, so it's not just setting up a firewall and calling it a day.
Definitely not. They need to be way ahead of the game, researching all the time to find out what the new threats are.
And how to counter them.
Exactly. Got to adapt their strategies constantly.
So it's super dynamic then.
Oh, for sure. Lots of learning, lots of adapting, never a dull moment.
So speaking of learning, what kind of education do you need to even get started in this field?
Well, according to Coursera,
Hmm,
you're going to need a good foundation in computer science or something related.
right.
A bachelor's degree is pretty much the standard these days.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too.
And master's degrees, they're becoming more and more sought after.
I can imagine. The more you know, the better, right?
Definitely helps. But it's not all about checking boxes on a resume.
Totally. Got to have the skills to back it up.
Absolutely.
What kind of technical skills are we talking about here?
So all of our sources really emphasize object-oriented languages.
Like,
Think Java, Python, C++, that kind of stuff.
okay, yeah, those are pretty common in the tech world.
You'll be using them for all sorts of things, like automating security tasks, analyzing logs, even building your own security tools.
Wow, that's really hands-on.
Yeah, you really need to be able to understand and work with the code.
Makes sense. It's all built on that in the end, right?
Yep, and on top of that, you need a deep understanding of cloud environments themselves.
That's a given.
Scripting languages too, and all the major cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, you name it.
You got to speak the language of the cloud.
Exactly. You need to navigate those platforms, find their weaknesses, and know how to secure them.
So basically become fluent in cloud.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you know what Matowis in that Hack the Box article said?
What's that?
He said you gotta master the fundamentals of computer networking first.
Oh, really? Before all that.
He was adamant about it. Stuff like TCP/IP, diving deep into Linux, getting how networks work at their core.
Huh. Interesting take.
It's like you can't build a house without a solid foundation.
I see. So networking is the foundation for everything else in cloud security.
Exactly. It's fundamental.
Okay, so you've got your foundation, then you move on to the cloud-specific stuff.
Exactly. But then Mateus also talked about this thing that really got me thinking.
What was that?
Developing an attacker's mindset.
Wait, so thinking like the bad guys.
Yep. Because you need to understand how they think if you're going to defend against them.
I never thought of it that way.
Right. It's like you need to predict their moves.
Find the vulnerabilities before they do.
Build defenses that can withstand their attacks.
So it's like a mental chess match.
Exactly. Mateus even recommended trying ethical hacking platforms.
What are those?
They're like safe spaces to experiment with different hacking techniques.
To become a better defender.
Exactly. But here's the thing that surprised me. He also emphasized soft skills.
Really? Even in a super technical field like this.
He said he almost lost a job offer because his presentation skills weren't up to par.
Wow. That's a good reminder. You need more than just technical chops.
Totally. You got to communicate those technical things clearly.
To everyone, not just the tech people.
Exactly. Developers, system admins, business folks, everyone's got to be on the same page.
So you're like a translator then.
Kind of bridging the gap between the tech world and the business world.
That's really important. I haven't thought of it that way.
And it's super important for incident response, too.
Like when there's a breach.
Exactly. You got to communicate calmly and effectively.
Coordinate everything. Keep everyone informed.
Exactly. And provide clear guidance.
So it's not just about being tech savvy. It's about being a good communicator, a leader.
Totally. Cloud security engineers need a whole bunch of skills.
So how do you actually get your foot in the door? What's the path to actually becoming a cloud security engineer?
Well, both Coursera and Glassdoor suggest starting with entry-level security roles.
Like what?
Information security analyst, maybe security officer, that kind of thing.
Okay, so get a feel for the field.
Yep, build up that foundation.
And how much experience are we talking?
You want to aim for at least 5 to 7 years in related areas.
So like working in IT or network administration?
Exactly. Software development can even be useful. The key is showing you get security and can work in tech.
Got it. So build up that experience. I'd imagine certifications can help too, right?
Oh, for sure. Certifications are like gold in cybersecurity.
Really?
They prove you know your stuff, and employers love to see them.
Makes sense.
Some of the big ones that kept popping up were CISP, AWS Certified Security Specialty, and Google Cloud Professional Cloud Security Engineer.
Wow, those sound intense.
They are. But they cover all sorts of crucial topics like risk management, incident response, and cloud-specific security.
And they give you an edge in the job market.
Absolutely. Show
Oh.
potential employers you're ready to hit the ground running.
That's smart. Definitely something to consider. I also saw CCSK and CCSP mentioned quite a bit.
Those are good ones, too.
What are they all about?
So CCSK, that Certificate of Cloud Security Knowledge, it's great for beginners. It gives you a solid base in cloud security concepts.
A good starting point then.
Exactly. And CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional, that's for more experienced folks. It goes deep into designing and managing cloud security programs.
So it's like leveling up.
Exactly. You'll need a deeper understanding of IT security and cloud architecture for that one.
Seems like there's a certification for every stage of your career.
Pretty much. It's all about finding the right ones for you. But keep in mind, they're just one piece of the puzzle.
What do you mean?
Well, they show you have the knowledge, but they don't necessarily prove you can use it.
Oh, I see. It's one thing to know the theory, but another to apply it in the real world.
Exactly. You need both to really make it in this field.
Makes sense. Can't just live in the textbook.
You got to get your hands dirty.
Absolutely. That's how you really learn.
For sure.
So we've talked about education, skills, certifications, and experience, all crucial components.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
But it feels like the journey's just beginning, right?
It definitely is.
There's so much more to explore in the world of cloud security.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've only just scratched the surface. So before we went off, we talked about those building blocks, the education, the skills, the certifications, that experience you need.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
But honestly, it feels like it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, for sure. There's got to be more.
Right. Like this whole concept of building a personal brand in cloud security, I'm not even sure where to start with that.
Yeah, that went through me for a loop, too.
It's everywhere in tech, though, you know? And cloud security, definitely no exception. It's all about showing what, building that credibility.
Yeah, and making yourself stand out, right? Like in that Medium article.
Exactly. That one talked about having a strong online presence, being a part of the community.
Oh, yeah, like writing blog posts, right?
Yeah.
Sharing your expertise, your projects.
Exactly. Platforms like Medium, Hashnode, Dev.to, all those. You show your passion, document what you're learning, and hey, you might even get noticed by some employers.
That's pretty cool. What about social media?
Super important. LinkedIn, X, formerly Twitter,
I mainly use those to keep up with friends and family.
Totally get it, but for cloud security pros, it's gold. You can connect with leaders in the field, share insights, stay on top of trends.
So you're basically networking, building relationships.
Exactly. You build your reputation, become a thought leader.
It's like a digital resume, but way more dynamic, more you.
Exactly. And the Medium article, it went a step further, suggesting contributing to open source cloud security projects.
Like on GitHub.
Exactly. Imagine working on a team, creating new security tools, making software safer for everyone.
That would be awesome. So you build practical skills, you make connections.
And you show potential employers what you can really do.
Okay, so let's say you've done all that. You've got the skills, the online presence. You're ready to land that first cloud security role.
Here comes the hard part.
Right. It's got to be competitive, right?
Yeah.
So how do you stand out? What did our sources say?
Well, both Coursera and Glassdoor said, tailor your resume and cover letter.
Makes sense. One size doesn't fit all.
Exactly. You highlight the skills that match what they're looking for.
Show that you get it, you understand their needs.
Exactly. And the Medium article, it said research the companies, even the hiring managers.
Really? Like stalk their LinkedIn profiles.
Well, not stalk exactly, but learn about them. You
Sure.
know, what's their background? What do they specialize in?
Wow, that's going the extra mile.
It shows you're genuinely interested, not just looking for any job.
Like you're invested in the company and the team.
Exactly. They even suggested reaching out to people on LinkedIn, finding out more about their roles.
Is that too forward?
Some might think so, but it shows initiative. Plus, you get firsthand insights.
That's true. It's all about gathering information.
and building those relationships.
Okay, so you've made those connections. Now it's interview time. Any advice for that?
Mateus, in that Hack the Box article, he had some good tips.
Lay it on me.
Practice your answers to common technical questions.
Make sense? Got to be ready to talk the talk.
Exactly. Explain complex things clearly, especially under pressure.
Yeah, that's not easy.
He also suggested researching the company's security infrastructure, getting to know their cloud environment.
So you can talk about their setup, their vulnerability.
Exactly. Suggest improvements, show them you've done your homework.
That would definitely impress them.
It shows initiative, problem-solving skills, the whole package.
Right. And we can't forget those soft skills,
Oh,
right?
definitely. Communication, teamwork, all super important.
You need to be a well-rounded candidate, not just a tech whiz.
Exactly. So you land that first role, congratulations. But then what?
That's just the beginning, right? The cloud security landscape is always changing.
Right, so how do you stay ahead?
All our sources were super clear. Continuous learning is key.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. It's about always being curious, learning new tech, expanding your knowledge.
That Coursera article mentioned conferences and webinars. Those are great for learning from the experts.
I love conferences. You get to hear from the people who are shaping the field.
And the Medium article suggested joining cloud security communities,
Like what?
AWS user groups, FWD CloudSec, things like that.
Oh, I get it. It's about connecting with people who get it.
Sharing knowledge, collaborating, getting support.
So you're not in it alone.
Exactly. You've got a whole community behind you.
That's really cool. Mateus also mentioned capture the flag competitions and ethical hacking platforms.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun. A great way to test your skills, learn new stuff, and get some practical experience.
So it's about embracing that growth mindset.
Always challenging yourself, never stop learning.
I like that. So what's it actually like to be a cloud security engineer?
Time to get real.
What are the challenges? The rewards?
Coursera didn't sugarcoat it. It's demanding work.
Oh, I bet.
Fast-paced, high pressure, dealing with sensitive stuff.
The stakes are pretty high.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to think clearly under pressure.
You're the last line of defense against those cyber criminals.
Exactly, they're always looking for a way in. And that Hack the Box article, it said you got to be adaptable and comfortable with the unknown.
Oh yeah, things change so fast in tech.
All the time. Cloud tech is constantly evolving and the threats are changing too.
Not for the faint of heart then.
Nope. You got to think on your feet, embrace that constant learning, like being a digital detective, always one step ahead.
That's a cool way to think about it.
Right? And the Medium article stressed problem-solving skills too.
Makes sense. Got to be able to think critically.
You're going to hit complex challenges, things that need creativity, deep understanding of security.
It's not just following a manual. It's about thinking outside the box.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's demanding, but man, is it rewarding.
You're making a real difference, protecting people and their data.
Making the digital world a safer place.
And as more businesses move to the cloud,
The demand for cloud security pros is just going to keep rising.
it's a great time to be in the field that.
Oh, yeah. Job security, growth potential, it's all there.
Yeah,
But it's more than that, right?
totally. It's about being a part of something that's constantly evolving.
Learning, pushing boundaries, making a positive impact.
I love that.
So that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive into the world of cloud security engineering.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been taking a deep dive into cloud security engineering, a career path that's, well, it's really something else, isn't it?
It's definitely got it all, that's for sure. We've talked
Yeah.
about skills, certifications, all those building blocks.
On what it's like to actually work in the field, the challenges, the reward.
Right, getting into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. But now I kind of want to shift gears a bit, look ahead.
To the future of cloud security.
Exactly. What trends should aspiring cloud security pros be keeping an eye on?
Well, remember those emerging roles from the Medium article?
Yeah, cloud threat detection engineer and cloud security LLM and Gen AI engineer.
Yeah.
Those were pretty intriguing.
Totally. They kind of point to where things are headed.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
More focus on proactive threat hunting, for one. And securing AI systems in the cloud, that's huge.
AI, huh? Makes sense. It's everywhere these days.
Exactly. And as AI gets more integrated into everything, securing those systems becomes even more crucial.
Right. It's not just about protecting data anymore.
It's about the integrity of the algorithms, the systems that are driving everything.
So cloud security is evolving, becoming even more complex.
Oh, for sure. And it's all happening while the market itself is booming.
Booming. How so?
The global cloud security market is projected to hit something like $148.3 billion by 2032.
Wow, that's a lot of zeros.
Right. And the reason is simple. More businesses are moving to the cloud every day.
So the need for cloud security pros is only going to increase.
Exactly. It's a great time to be getting into the field.
But it's also a time of increasing challenges,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the bad guys aren't just sitting around.
Oh, no, they're evolving too, getting more sophisticated.
So that continuous learning thing, it's even more important now.
Absolutely. It's a nonstop process, always adapting, always learning new things.
And it's not just technical skills either, right?
Right. The Medium article talked about communication, collaboration, all that.
Being able to explain complex stuff to non-tech people, that's huge.
Especially for building a security culture within an organization.
Makes sense. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
Exactly. And with all the remote work these days, collaboration skills are even more important.
Working with people from all over, different backgrounds, different time zones.
Cloud security is a team effort for sure.
Well, this deep dive has been super insightful.
I've learned a lot.
Me too.
Eh.
We've covered a lot of ground, the technical stuff, the big picture trends.
It's a fascinating field, that's for sure.
Totally. But before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with one last thought.
Go for it.
We've talked a lot about skills, certifications, the job market, all the practical things.
Right, the nuts and bolts.
But at the end of the day, cloud security is really about protecting people.
Their data, their privacy.
Exactly. It's about making sure businesses can operate safely.
And that the digital world is a place we can all trust.
So as you explore this field, remember that you're not just building a career, you're helping to shape a more secure future for everyone.
Well said. I couldn't have put it better myself.
It's been awesome chatting with you about all this.
Likewise, always a pleasure to dive deep into these topics.
And thank you all for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time for another exciting exploration.